Hey, how's it going? I've got a couple of requests to show how I made this EarthBound rolling health thingy that I made. If we look at it real quick, running what I've got, how it looks when you open it up. You can press a couple of buttons to set your target health, and the HP meter is going to roll towards that. Right now I have it set so it'll roll up to 999. Does that, and it goes a little bit off the numbers, but should work fine. And then it'll also roll down to 1 if you press a different button. So I also have it so you can change how many meters you have on the screen at once. Go to this party array I made, maybe add a value to it. Now that there's 2 values inside of it, you'll see when it runs, I've got 2 meters going. Let's see, if you have like a full party of 4 people, as you can see, open it up and it broke. Oh wait, yeah, I didn't add in values for 4 people. Okay. It'll go up to 3 though. I have these. All right, so let's get into how I made it. First thing you're gonna need are some sprite images. I have these linked in the description, so go ahead and click that. Look for these if you want just like a baseline. But basically, you need some kind of box with open windows for your HP, or open like spots here for the numbers on their own. And then you need an image for the numbers. Now, the way I did this was I made a strip image of a bunch of different rolling numbers. So there's just a bunch of different frames going between each number. Now, you can make your own. It should work fine, but the important thing to note here is you need the same number of frames in between each number. So, looking between 0 and 1, got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 before we go to the next number. So for me, I have 12 frames per number. Again, if you want a different number of frames between them, that's fine. Just make sure it's consistent. So going into setting it up, first thing you need is some kind of object manager. So go ahead and make a new object. Doesn't need a sprite or anything like that. I have 3 events set up for it. I have a create event, a step event, and a draw event. So going into the create event, first thing I do is initialize how many characters are in my party, or who's in my party, I guess. So assuming I have a game where there are currently 3 people in my party, I have character 1, character 2, and character 3. I just have them all set up in an array like this. Then I use this here to just get how many people are in my party. Here I've like hard-coded in some values for what I want. So let's say player 1, their current health is 30, making a 2-dimensional array now. So in the first row, column, however you want to look at it, this is the character number. So character number 0 goes right here. Second number here does some different things. If it's 0, I have it set so it's your current health. 1 is the target health you want to roll at. So 30 is like what your health is going to start at. 346 is what your target is. Here did some calculations to get each individual digit. So 100 digit, it's going in like 100 window. I pull it up. I'm going to go in this window right here. I do this calculation. HP 00, that's your current health, divided by 100. So you if you do, let's say your current health is 30, divide that by 100, your current 100 digit is going to be 0.3. Now, that's not a whole number, but it ends up working out. Same thing with the 10 and the 1. I do some different calculations to figure out what these digits are going to be. And then here, array 2, 3, and 4 are what goes into the windows, like the frame that put in the window. So, counting the current frame I'm on, that's what the second number is. Second number 2 is your 100 frame, 3 is your 10 frame, 4 is your 1 frame, and I multiply each of these values by 12, since, like I said, I have 12 frames per number. Now, when you set this up, you want to multiply by how many frames you're using per number. And then here, I move on to defining 1. This is for my second character. Again, 0 for current health, 1 for target health. And yeah, same calculations here. Place this with a 1 for second party member. I have it set up for 3 members, actually. Go ahead and add some stuff for fourth person to show off when I run it again. So let's get freeze. Here I've set the rolling up speed and rolling down speed. And actually, before I go any further, important thing is frames per second in your game. Now, I'm pretty sure it's kind of standard to use like 60 or maybe like a pixel art RPG based game, whatever. I set it to 120 just because with how many when you run a step event, it runs every frame of the game. So using higher frame rate makes your HP bar more accurate and less likely to have errors. You can run it at 60, 30, or higher if you want. This is just what I set it at. Works well for me. So going back into this, the up speed is set here, down speed is set here, and I set like a down defending speed. So in Mother 3, if you defend, your health rolls down slower. So I just put this here. If you ever want to like have a character defend and have their HP roll down slower, you can change that somewhere in the step event. Now, I have the up speed like significantly higher than the down speed, and there's some reasons for this I'll get into later. But main reason is I think that health rolling down slow is good because it allows you to make, or it encourages like more quick thinking, making decisions on what to do. There's more emphasis on the rolling down meter. It's kind of easier to do this if you have slower rolling down health. And I like the up speed faster just because when you heal, I feel like it should be kind of instant. And then if you want to wait for your health to get all the way up before you start your next turn, you can just do that and same thing would happen, except you're wasting a bunch of time just sitting there waiting for your health to roll up. So that's why I have it set higher mainly. But there's another reason for it. Anyway, I digress. Let's get further into it. So checking the step and draw events, I have these for loops set up here. Now these for loops run through for every party member, and for however many party members you have. So both of them, you're going to initialize I to be 0 and keep it underneath number of party members, or num main, like this. I less than num main, and it by 1. And now we go into the meat and potatoes of it. So I have 3 different cases set up here. this third case, it's just pretty much stop the meter once you've met your target health. First case here is if your current health is higher than your target health, which would mean you need to roll down to get towards your target health. Second case here is if your current health is lower than your target health, you need to roll up to hit it. Going into this first case here, first thing you do is increment your health down. So since you want your current health to go lower, since you need to hit your target health, you do your current health equals your current health minus the down speed. Now again, set that here. And because it's set up in an array like this, you can use different down speeds for different party members if you want, just by defining them all here. Then do some similar calculations to what I did here. Figure out your 100-digit, your 10-digit, and your 1-digit. I'm not going to go into how these calculations work. I kind of forget how I did them. But basically, that's how it works. Now for your I4, or 4 right here, this is what goes into the 1 box. Right here. So in your 1 box, you can pretty much just update this all the time, and it'll look good whenever your health is rolling. So this you just set equal to your 1 calculation times the number of frames you have for each number. So 12 in my case. Now going a little bit further down is where it gets a little more complicated for rolling down. Because when your health rolls down, I'll start it real quick. You don't want your 10 and your 100 values to update all the time. So looking at this second meter right here, you can see the health is rolling down, but the 10 and the 100 meters don't roll down until they need to. It looks a lot better that way, because if I set the HP, or I set the 10 meter and the 100 meter similar to the 1 meter, it would just all constantly be rolling down, some of them slower than others, and it would look kind of gross that way. So the way I set this up was, I have 2 variables defined here, alt10 and alt100. These are just pretty much conditions. So in this first if statement here, I have if HPI 3, that is the 10 frame. So 3 is the exact frame in your 10-digit. If it's between 119.9 and 121.1, basically, or actually, there should be, I don't know. It works, whatever. It should be somewhere between or close to a certain frame value. Now, which one's 120 for me? That's this. This value is 120. It's my empty frame with no numbers. Yeah. So this is because if you want, let's say you don't have a value, or roll it down further. So let's say your 100 is less than 1. You don't want to put a 0 here, you just want an empty frame here. That's what this case is for. If you're already where you need to be, just keep it there. But this should be. The second case here, if your HP 10 is this right here, if your 10-digit is above 9 and your meter frame thing below 108, at where 108 is for me. It's this right here, or this one. So if your meter is or if your health is above 9 and your meter is below 108, then again, you want to set your 100 thing equal to 120. Increase my actually this is my 10 thing. Okay, it doesn't make much sense to me. I did this last night and I kind of forget how I did it, but it works. Right here, this is your condition for your 100 digit is less than 1 and your 10 digit is less than 1. So this is how you set your and your 10 digit to start rolling down. If you want, yeah, if your 110 are rolling below 100, or if you have a single value health that you're gonna start rolling towards, you want to set your 10 value to start doing this animation. So this is where you actually put in what frame you're going to be on for the numbers. It's set to the maximum of floor of your HP 10 times 12. So let's say at any given point, roll up a little bit, your HP 10 is 3, or it's in the 3s. You first roll it down, HP 10. If you have a 30 in your health somewhere, like it's 239, taking the maximum of 3.9, lowered down. So 3 times 12, that's the frame that's the exact frame of 3 I have. Yeah. And then yeah, the maximum of the floor of this and your current frame, which is right here, current 10 frame, minus H speed down speed times your times the number of frames you have, and this alt 10 that I defined here. Going into this, it's gonna be whatever it's gonna be whatever the maximum of all of these are. So if this is the highest thing, that means you're just gonna have a stationary number. If this is your highest thing, this means it's gonna be rolling down from a number. If you're on like 4 going to 3 or 3 going to 2, it's gonna be like you're rolling down from this number every frame until you hit it. Then this won't be the maximum anymore. This will be the maximum. Or Alt 10. That's where I defined going to be this. This. This is how you choose what your number in your 10 frame is going to be. And then I do a pretty similar thing for the 100 seed. I couldn't figure out how to get this to work for rolling up, but I don't personally think that really matters. When you roll up, it looks fine if everything rolls like that, if you're going really fast. For this one, I roll up. For this one, I set it similar to how 1 is set here for each number. So if your 100, if it's less than 1, your 100 is just going to be, if it's greater than 1, it's just going to match the frame it's on. Same with the 10. And these here are just inputs that I can put in to change the number I'm rolling towards. If you want to, I set some macros up earlier. I want to change put A to be like word. Something like that. Basically just keyboard checks. And then, wait, I think I just explained the wrong thing. Okay, this is for if you're already at your target HP. This is just to like make sure all your frames are matching up. This is the rolling up case. So yeah, sorry. Again, setting your 110 one digits using the same calculation, set your 1 to be your 1 digit times 12 to match the frame. Actually, I'm pretty sure this code's the same. It's really similar. Okay, yeah. So if your 100 and your 10 are both less than 1, then your 10 frame is going to be that 0 still image. Otherwise, it's going to match the exact frame it should be. Same with the 100 thing. If your 100 frame is less than 1, it's just going to match that still frame. Otherwise, it's just going to be what it should be. Finally, going into this draw event here, this is where I actually draw out box and the numbers. I use the for loop again. So if your I is less than number main, the number of people in your party, this here is a calculation. Calculation I did, find where you put your box. So 320, that's just my window or view width. 270 is just my height. So for you, you just put in whatever your width and height are going to be. And then minus these. This is just how I calculated like the center of the screen for all your boxes. And then you're going to draw your box at the X and Y I set. And then you're going to draw the specific number at a certain point in the box. And it's going to be the exact frame. Now, that's pretty much it. I guess the only thing to remember is if you want to use my code, you need to change some of the numbers depending on how many animation frames you have. So you have 12, if you have 12 frames per animation like me somehow, and you can just keep all the numbers exactly as they are. Otherwise, you want to scale a bunch of numbers. So I guess when I release the code, I'll just put in some comments telling you which numbers you need to change depending on how many frames you have. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have questions about it, feel free to ask me. Sorry if I didn't explain this very well. I'm not a programmer. I kind of just did in my own time. So there's probably a better way to do it somehow. More efficient way, I'm not sure. But yeah, thanks for watching. Again, if you have questions, feel free to let me know, and that's pretty much it.